Now we are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our next OnAir MicroStation Firesides 2024 session number 8. And I hope a lot of people are watching us or start watching us in a few. And I directly hand over to my colleague Maria, who will guide us through this session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nanette. And hello, everybody here, and welcome to our Fireside Chat, where we are going to speak about the geospatial capabilities in MicroStation. If you can check this QR code on the left corner, this is directly the link to our previous webinar we had. And related to the topic from today, you know that geospatial context is the starting point for every design project. So in this session, you will learn how to leverage this powerful platform to seamlessly integrate geospatial data into your designs, manage also complex GIS information, and enhance your workflows, reducing the need for rework. And joining us today, here are my colleagues, Sanchayan Chatterjee and Aditya Chatterjee. Same surname, but they are not related. So, hi, both of you.
Hey
Hi
Maria,
everyone.
hi.
And, and maybe Sanchayan, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, welcome to this session. So my name is Sanchayan Chatterjee. I've been part for Bentley for almost 8 years now. I'm an architect by training, and before joining Bentley, I was working at one of India's top architectural firms in Pune, and I was the project architect for IIM Calcutta and IIT Hyderabad project. It's great to meet you all.
Thank you, Sanchayan. And Aditya, please, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Aditya. I've been with Bentley for around 6 years now, and I mostly help users on working on their projects with MicroStation, iTwin Capture, and various Bentley solutions to make their life easier. It will be a great session, so stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Aditya. And I'm Maria Sanchez Tuñón. I have worked for more than 20 years in infrastructure projects. Come from Spain. I live in UK, and now I'm based in Munich, where I joined Bentley Systems as product sales engineer for MicroStation, open buildings, and open plants. So you know all of us. And sorry here. And you know this session is going to be a live chat. It's a live event, so please feel free to communicate with us, and you can ask questions in the comment section. And remember that the session will be recorded, and you could watch the session later on demand. And Sanchayan today is going to present us the geospatial context challenges you can face in your projects and the capabilities and enhancements in MicroStation 2024. But I would like to remind you also that as we are going to speak about many different formats, I would like you to know that MicroStation is a perfect integration tool, and it supports more than 70 different formats. So this could be useful. And now it's your turn, Sanchayan.
Yeah, thanks Maria. Okay, guys, so we are
Nanette, can you change the screen to Sanchayan? Perfect.
okay. Thank you everyone for joining. So today we'll be speaking mostly about geospatial context and why geospatial context is important for your design. So let's take a look at the agenda for our discussion in the fire chat. So first, we have to understand that why you should use MicroStation for your geospatial context workflow. We will explore a little bit about the geospatial context challenges, and we'll be including the new workflows that MicroStation offers you that will really help in driving your project. One of few of them are Bing Map. Some Bing Map enhancement has been done in MicroStation. We'll show you a little bit about Google Earth and Google Map integration in MicroStation so that you can work on your project. Latest, we have included S3 ArcGIS REST service in MicroStation, so you can use ArcGIS REST services. We'll be speaking a little bit about Open Geospatial Consortium standards, and we'll explore a little bit about the geospatial workflow and what advantages it provides you. And finally, we will be completing with some user benefits. So the first thing that we are going to discuss is why MicroStation. Now, as Maria mentioned, MicroStation is a software that infrastructure professionals rely on to design, model, and manage their infrastructure projects. Now, the main purpose is to enable users to deliver innovative design, creative visualization, and consolidate critical project elements in a single environment for effective and secure project deliverable. And finally, MicroStation is the foundation that supports the entire Bentley modeling ecosystem. So MicroStation as a data integrator will be really, really important for you for your project. So the first thing that we explore is why MicroStation, because as I mentioned, you can model anything within MicroStation. The second one is you can read and consolidate anything. So you can fetch other important files from other DGN sources or DWG sources, and you can open them in MicroStation. And finally, you will be able to report everything and inform everyone with the MicroStation and Bentley ecosystem. So before we start for geospatial context, let's understand what is geospatial. So here we have set up a geospatial 101 class for you. So geospatial data is actually the data related to location on Earth. Like we see in this figure on your screen that there are two major type of data. The first one is known as vector data, another one is known as raster data. Now examples over here, vector layer is presented for say administrative boundaries. Uh, Over here it's represented by polygons like streets, parcels, and for raster layers, you will be using them for land usage and elevation, which is represented by grid. So in this way, geospatial data is actually segregated into two different type of data. The next one is what is geospatial context? Now, bringing the geospatial context actually refers to incorporating geographic information and spatial relationships into the design process. Now, this process involves integrating data related to your physical location and characteristics of object within the design. Now, this is done often by using GIS data or geospatial data. So how important is geospatial location, which is a significant factor for your project? Let's look at them. So we have heard our users about the challenges and workarounds to bring the geospatial context. It is difficult for non-GIS MicroStation users to know what tools that can access web geospatial context data. Now, before in MicroStation, users would have had to use workarounds to view GIS data in their design application. So we did several discovery calls with our customers and we found a solution.
Oh, I remember
We
me doing that in the past also.
Yeah. So we heard our customers and we understand that geospatial context plays a crucial role in many design workflows. And we are committed to help our customer integrate this data efficiently. We recognize that many of our customers face challenges when it comes to geospatial context in their design workflow. For example, you can see on my screen this picture. This relevant geospatial data and the integration with MicroStation helps you to understand how a bridge will be designed in an existing context. This was not previously available, and many people had to do different workarounds to get this kind of information. Now you will be able to do that with MicroStation using the geospatial context. The first thing that I want to take you through is what is included in the geospatial context workflow. So the first thing that many users are working on context for many years and they have been using many different tools. But with our new geospatial context workflow, you can see we have divided into four different parts. The first one is geographic location. So obviously you get geocoordination system, and within the geocoordination system, you get to work with Google Map, Bing Map, as well as Google Earth. Now, why this is important? Because this data is generic data and it is widely used by publics. The next features that you get for are the S3 ArcGIS feature service and the OGC feature services.
Sorry,
So,
sorry, Sanchayan, I know you are going to explain it
mhm.
afterwards, but can you clarify a bit what is OGC?
OGC stands for Open Geospatial Consortium. So it is it is an industry standard for using geospatial data, and OGC is the short form of it. And with OGC, you will be getting access to WFS, which is Web Facility Services. So we'll be covering that out later on in the
Perfect.
presentation. Okay, so with ArcGIS features and OGC WFS feature services, what you will get is you will get to view data, you will get to edit data, and you will be able to search data which was not previously available. Now, these are all vector data that are published in either different servers created by different organizations, or people have many owner operated websites of their own. So you can fetch data from there. And the final one is the raster services. Now, as I've mentioned, Geospatial 101, vector data and raster data. So we have covered vector data through ArcGIS and OGC WFS. Now we are covering raster data through raster services. In this raster data is also you can fetch from any particular server that is created by different organization or individuals.
And here, for example, Sanchayan, what is
Yeah.
WMS and
WMS
WMGS?
is Web Map Services. That also I'll cover a little bit. So WMS is a web map service that is fetching data from any public or private
Raster
organization who
data.
wants to share
Okay.
data. Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you.
Now, the first thing I would like to take you with is the geographic features. So one thing you are getting with MicroStation is Bing Map. So Bing Map as a background map provides a visual representation of your geographic context in which your design and data is located. The very important thing about Bing Map and why we are speaking of Bing Maps is because Bing Map is developed by Microsoft, and MicroStation has a good relation. So what advantage Bing Map provides is that you can view the maps directly in your application. So let's take a look at this example. So here you will be able to see that the Bing map will only be displayed if your model is having a geographic coordinate system. Now, if you do not have a geographic coordinate system, it is very easy to assign one. You can go to our GCS library, you can choose any of the geographic coordinate system and you can assign it. It is that easy. Now, in terms of viewing, I can go to my Bing map and I can view the maps view by view using the different options that are available to me. I can view road data, I can view aerial data, I can even view satellite data. Now, over here, you can see that I have shown it view by view, but there is also a property in Bing Map where you can show a different type of data and choose different views to view them. So you can see I've selected all three views, and once I apply, I'm seeing all the satellite data. So that is the advantage Bing Map gives you. It opens the map directly within your application. The next one is I'll show how you can use Google Map or Google Earth to actually work with MicroStation as well. Now remember, Google Map is will open in a separate browser and Google Earth needs a separate application. So, but MicroStation seamlessly integrates with them. So I'll show you a project where you can define a GCS of a particular project by
Sorry,
using
Sanchayan,
placemark.
GCS, Geo-Coordinate Systems.
Yeah,
Okay,
geocoordination
okay.
system. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
By using placemark. So this is an example where I have actually a project. This is, you can see this is a road system. And what you can see is that I have this road system created and I am removing the GCS over here completely. So I'll be taking the GCS directly from Google Earth or Google Map. So what I have done is I have removed the GCS and I have opened Google Earth. So in Google Earth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of placement points. So say, for example, I am defining this as one placement point, and on the other side, which is the below side, I'm going to place a different placement point. So what it does, it provides you the accurate latitudes and longitude of the area directly from Google Earth. So what we have done, we have placed two placement points. I have saved them on Google Earth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save them and then I'm going to open it directly from MicroStation. So I go into place marks. I choose the option of bring place mark from Google Earth and define the place marks that I'm bringing in. So I'm defining the place mark. So here is the one place mark that I have defined in Google Earth. And this is the other place mark that I have defined in Google Earth as well. So once that I have done, you can see that using these place marks, I'll be able to actually incorporate GCS directly without going into my GCS library. So you can see all of the information are provided over here. And when I go to my map settings and I go to turn on a map, you will be able to see that the same exact map opens up. So this is how you integrate with Google Earth and Google Maps. So what I have shown in Google Earth can also be done with Google Earth. Now, this is another setting that we want to speak of, is that sometimes people say that we want to work on geo coordinates directly within MicroStation. Is that possible or not? So definitely that's possible. So here I'll show you an example of how you can do that. First, you go to your settings, you define your settings, and then what you do is you go to your geo coordinate system, you load the model, and then what you do is you go to the library. Now in the library, what you do is you select a particular GCS. Say, for example, I'm going over here and I'm selecting this particular GCS in Pennsylvania. So now what happens is MicroStation prompts you that the graphic elements are correctly in meters and millimeters. So it's asking you to define the scale. Once this is done, what you can do is you can go into your search ribbon and you can actually search for auxiliary coordinate system. In the auxiliary coordinate system, you will be able to see that a GCS is already here. And now what you can do is you can go and you can go into the level display and open the key in command. Now using this particular key in, what you can do is you can actually start working with your GCS and you can turn on the running coordinate system. So what it does, you can see actually on your screen the exact GCS information is being implemented. So whenever you're modeling, you know exactly where you're modeling and you're modeling in real world context. The next thing that I want to speak about is Google Earth integration. So we have spoken about how we can use Google Earth to pinpoint different location rather than GCS. We are using this as an example of how MicroStation without using Google Earth can integrate with Google Earth as well. So in this
Sanjayan,
example, yeah,
sorry to interrupt you very quickly. There is a question from the audience. Maybe Aditya
okay,
can
yeah,
answer that while you continue, just in case that there turn up more questions. I think it makes sense that we answer that live if possible.
sure, 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 sure.
Sure,
No
sure,
problem.
sure.
Aditya, in comments, you can answer that.
In the comments in LinkedIn or in
Sure,
the comments
definitely.
here in StreamYard.
Sure, 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 sure. No
Perfect.
problem.
Sorry for
No,
interrupting
no,
you,
no.
Sanjay.
No
No
problem,
problem.
no problem, no problem. Okay, so this another example that I am speaking of. Here you can see this is a mesh model that I have gathered from another companion application, which is iTwin Capture, and I have incorporated it inside MicroStation. Now this gives me real world context as well, and I have done a particular design. Now what I'll do after I have worked on the model, what I can do is I can export the file in the form of an KML file. So KML file is a recognized Google Earth file format. So here I have to choose what type of export and what type of settings I would like to provide. Now you can see all the settings have been provided by me, and there is an option over here that you can export it directly to Google Earth. Now once the export is done, you can see it is being exported in KML or KMZ format. And once the export is done, you will see Google Earth will automatically open. So here again, I would like to reiterate that Google Earth needs its separate application. It will not open if you do not have the Google Earth application installed on your computer. So with that, you can see you can directly export data directly from MicroStation to Google Earth. Now, another important feature that we have actually incorporated in MicroStation is the use of SRE shape files. So GIS data is coming from different file formats, and one of the most used is the SRE shape files. Now,
And
MicroStation,
Santayan, sorry, why are shape files important?
yeah, shape files are important because shapefile is one of the most interoperable file format which the SRE environment uses. So people can get information directly out of a shapefile. So many people who do not have an integration with SRE use shapefile on a regular basis to interoperate.
Thank you.
Okay, so over here you can see directly that MicroStation can directly reference this file from SRE software by just applying a symbology template of any of these files. Now applying this template is very easy to identify, and this different kind of data are referenced into MicroStation like rakes, roads, parks, state borders, and so on. Now the business data is attached to all of these entities and the elements can be reviewed, selecting the elements via Project Explorer. And there are other ways to verify this as well. So what you can do is you can go to the selected element, you go over here in the items, you can choose particular items and view all of their data in the properties. Or what you can do is you can do a selection of all of these important things. Now, once you are selecting all of these, you can do a big selection group, and the details will show all of the information in a matrix format. So you can see you can select one by one, or you can select of a group. Now, if you select as a group, everything will be in the form of a detailed dialog, and you will be able to show this data in a matrix format. Now moving on to what is ArcGIS REST feature service. So the Esri REST feature service actually provides access to vector representation of each feature that is stored on the server. Now, this is a direct integration of Esri ArcGIS REST feature service, and it saves time by avoiding to have to go through any intermediate formats such as shapefiles. So previously we were talking of shapefiles. Now with the REST feature service, there is an option that you do not have to go through shapefiles. So MicroStation feature service actually allows the user to query the server and create copies of the features in an active model. Now, if the entity is modified on the server, its local copy will not be automatically updated. But the next time you update, the next time the query tool is run, these features will be set. Now, using MicroStation tools, you can actually do all of these information, and you can get all of these information, and you can include this feature in your design. So let's look at an example. So here you can see that I am connecting to the S3 ArcGIS REST feature service by allowing to query features from the server, and I'll be creating a DGN representation of the feature in the active model. The connection name is automatically initialized with the name of the S3 feature service. This name can be edited by a user, and the connection name is used in a level name. Now, when using query feature tool, only features that overlap the extent of the active views are created. For each feature, a DGN element is created and placed on a level generated, named by the appending connection name to the layer name. The graphic attributes such as colors, line style, line width are also read directly from the server. So when used when creating a DGN element, this can be attributed. Finally, non-graphical information, commonly called as business properties, are also read and saved in the form of item types that are linked to the DGN elements. So in total, you get the entire connection seamlessly. You do not have any problem, and you can view this out later on as well. Similarly, we have also integrated the Esri ArcGIS REST map and image service. Now, what it does, it provides you live imagery data that is displayed through the MicroStation engine. Now, this data is displayed, and it comes from a map that has been defined in the Esri environment and shared by the REST service. Now, the integration of the Esri ArcGIS map service in MicroStation makes it possible for you to display this map as they were created, and they are displayed via the raster manager. So here is an example of how we support the Esri REST map service. So the REST map service allows you to dynamically display raster data from an Esri web service. So this data is displayed with the raster manager, which is MicroStation's imaging engine. Now, many of the S3 map service allow the user to select desired layers. Like in this case, we will only go for the selected layer like center lines, street center lines 2022. Now, since S3 map service data is displayed as an image, which is through raster manager, it is now possible to control the display to raster manager. In this example, say for example, we want to change the data over here. So we can view all of these data in the view. Now, coming to Maria's question about
Yes.
OGC. So, Open Geospatial Consortium is an international organization for coordinating standards related to geospatial information. And the OGC is actually supports the MicroStation workflow. And we find it important to define what is OGC. And what OGC does, it develops and promotes open standards for geographical technologies. We also support some of the OGC standards like Web Map Service, which is WMS, and Web Map Tile Service, which is WMTS. And finally, we also support WFS, which is Web Feature Service. And that has been integrated to this workflow in MicroStation tool so that it consolidates inside the geospatial context data flow.
Quick question for
Now,
Maria.
yes,
Maria, can you be so kind and send afterwards a list of all the abbreviations and the explanations
Yes, I
to
will send them
LinkedIn?
in LinkedIn
definitely.
under the
Yeah,
event so
I think
everybody can see the
that's
information.
interesting for everybody.
Mhm.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. So again, here I'll show you an example of how OGC Web Feature Service, which is WFS, integrates with MicroStation. MicroStation is able to connect read-only to OGC Web Services. With this connection, users will be able to query the server and create DGN elements out of the values of its semantic properties, which will be stored in item types. So here is an example. Here I am connecting to the OGC WFS feature service, which allows me to query features from the service and create a DGN representation of the features in the active model. Now, these are the same tools that are used for connecting and manipulating S3 feature and WFS services. Now, it is the application that takes care of the communication with the server as it should, depending on the type of the data. Now, since the web feature service servers do not have a name specified in their capabilities, a automatically generated name for connection is taken directly from the URL. Now, if the user wants to give it a personalized name, they can obviously do that. Now, graphic attributes such as colors can be changed, and the features attributes can also be queried and saved in the item type on the DGN elements. So here you can see I am changing the data where the level where in black color, I have changed it to red color. So the users can play along with the data as much as they want because they are all stored within MicroStation. And all of these are stored inside the item types. You can get all the properties and play along with them. So finally, we come to the question of why this is important to us. Because the first thing you get is you get better geospatial integration in MicroStation. Users can now view design and geospatial context in a single environment. Now, maps can be added as contextual information directly in the background. That is what Bing Map and Google Earth and Google Maps do. You are saving a lot of time because now you know how to incorporate geospatial context rather than going through any particular workaround. And you can now use the same graphical representation as defined in the S3 server. So previously it was not possible for people who are using S3. They would now get the same level of graphical representation as you were getting using S3 servers. Now, it also improves collaboration among different departments because they are all contributing to the same project. So now you have your data in hand rather than searching around for workarounds to how to integrate the data in MicroStation. And finally, it gives you a enhanced visual functionality, which actually I have shown in a particular picture where you get the existing condition and you are designing whatever is required. So let's do a quick recap. So like we discussed, having the ability to stream a geospatial context into design tool is very important and it will help you, the users, so that you do not have to handle any movement of GIS data. So finally, with MicroStation, you can model anything anywhere. You can read, consolidate anything. And finally, you can report everything and inform everyone of your data and design. So thank you all for joining this lovely
Thank,
discussion.
thank you very much, Sanchayan. So, Marco, I have read your question, but I need to check because I think soon there will be a new release in Open Building. So I will check and then I will tell you, okay? So, and thank you very much, Sanchayan, for your explanation. And we have some other questions. I think some of them you have explained it a little bit, but maybe Aditya can answer them. So, can we
Sure.
open Google Maps instead of Bing Maps? This is one of the questions.
So yes, definitely. You can utilize Google Maps inside MicroStation without a problem, but it will open in a separate browser as it was mentioned. And for Google Earth also, you would require the Google Earth application where the final product or the final output would showcase there.
And with Bing Map, you can include it directly from MicroStation as the
Yeah,
background. Okay,
right, right.
good. And can you change now, Nanette, to my perfect? And another question, can we add Esri's open data repository for geospatial data inside MicroStation?
Yes, you can directly reference in the URL from our geospatial context workflow, and you should be able to use the Esri REST API to directly integrate Esri features inside MicroStation with MicroStation elements also.
Oh, perfect. And do our users have to be Esri users as well, or have an ArcGIS license to utilize the data in MicroStation? Or
Um, so MicroStation doesn't require a separate license. What it means is, let's say there are multiple open Esri repositories already available. So if you want to reference that, it will be just the seamless process. Some Esri features or some Esri repositories, they generally require a login. In those cases, you might require an access or a separate license from Esri. But
okay,
for
good.
open repositories, it is readily available.
Okay. And being able to export to shapefiles is quite new, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the new thing in MicroStation 2024. So previously you could import Esri files or Esri shape files, but from now onwards, you would also be able to export Esri shape files directly from MicroStation interface.
Okay, thank you. And we have here another question. Can we open directly Google Street View from MicroStation? Not sure if we can do that. So,
No, no, we can't. We can't actually
We
open.
don't have that. Yeah.
We can open Google Street View, but it will open up in a separate browser. It is not actually integrated within MicroStation, but you can definitely view Google Street View, but not within the application. So we have a tie-up with Bing Maps, so only Bing Map can open within the application, but you can definitely interoperate with Google Maps as well.
okay, thank you very much. I think has been super insightful. So here are our contacts, as you can see here. So Sanchaya and Aditya and mine. So contact us if you need more information or you have any questions. And this is the end. So thank you very much to all the attendees for joining us. And thank you very much, Sanchayan and Aditya. I think it was super interesting, your explanation. And thank you very much also, Nanette, for hosting the session. So
You're
we
welcome.
will we will be having some new fireside chat. Um,
We will
I
have
think the
another one
next
in
one is on
December.
the 18th December. So
Yeah, yeah.
please stay tuned because it will be interesting. And
The
see you soon.
topic will be visualization. So that means everybody that needs to visualize his 3D models should definitely tune in because we will always have nice colleagues to show what we're doing. Thanks, Sanchayan, Aditya, and Maria.
Thank you,
I
everyone.
think
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
think it was
everyone.
also good for the attendees. Thanks for everybody that watched us, and yeah, don't hesitate to raise your questions in case there is more that you need to know. Thank you very much.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good
See you
week.
soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you all.